One, let me know. You can hear me. I want to thank all of those of you that have donated. If you would like to donate, my cash app is PEKA69. Once again, that's PEKA69. I really do appreciate all of you. I have someone that is waiting for a reading. I'll be working on that shortly. Welcome, everyone. Come in, come in. This has been an interesting experience. If you feel comfortable enough, for those of you that have experienced displacement, no matter um, how severe or if it was 1 day, 2 day inconvenience or something like that, if you feel comfortable, share it in the chat. I do appreciate all of you that have shared these lives specifically. What I do know is that human kindness is still relevant. It is definitely here. I see it where I'm at. I'm not sure if you all see it. And what I know is there is a community-like feel when it comes down to being displaced. Someone was asking about um, encampments or something like that. Um, the information that I received via downloads in regards to encampments and things of that sort, they're usually ran by alpha males. And a lot of time there are um, Anglo-Saxon or Hispanic males that will run these particular encampments, and it's for the safety of the women and children that are displaced. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, put the information in the chat. I want to keep these lives positive. The biggest issue that I've seen with being displaced like this is having a place to use the restroom. Everything is locked down, and for good reason. However, it puts you in a different situation when you have to use the restroom and you have to clean yourself. Like if I were living in a trailer or a trailer park, or um, I had the means to go to like camping sites, it would be a lot easier. But with my specific situations, I'm not geared to do so, but I do see many that are. And when I made a comment that it would be different, it would be something different, not necessarily exciting, but a different experience from what I was experiencing in living in my home. Meaning that it was very stressful the last year, having to come up with the rent and not being sure, then opening up my environment to those that I feel don't like me or have something, open myself up to that. That was the scary part. And when you go through situations like this, you start reaching for help, and then you figure out that you don't have much help. Now I don't know about for y'all, but for my situation, it was like it was like the people that I felt could be dependable, regardless if it was financial support or just having a place to wash up. They're not. And some may use the excuse of the underworld, but it was like that even before. It's kind of like with my situation, and if you happen to be a cherub, if the God told you that you were a cherub, I'm sure you're experiencing the same thing, where when you have a support system, when you have parents, when you have about 10 years ago, hold on, I'm gonna read that. Um, Greetings, Victorious T. When you have a support system, parents, grandparents, relatives, okay, and you go through a situation like this early on, early on. And as I go through these different type of lives, for those of you that feel like you have teenage children, because some of the stuff you're gonna want your teenage daughter specifically to hear. So even though it says not set for kids, some of the stuff when I get ready to talk about it, I want you to share with your teenage daughters specifically because it needs to be said. And a lot of times with stuff like this, it's more acceptable if you um, if it comes from someone else. Okay, that's not for everybody, but for this situation, it is. Hold on, y'all. I lost my place. It's Aquinio. What we're talking about here is encampments. We want all of you to understand that when Ether is going through this situation, she has angelic support. She's not out here just willy-nilly, and she does not have any type of angelic support. What we all would like from her subscribers and viewers that care is for you all to donate. Now, if anybody remembers where I left off before I started talking about sharing this information with your teenage daughters. Okay, let's see. 10 years ago, I left my born state with my children. We were homeless a year. I then did find a place and I lost it, and we were homeless a year before I found another home. So this is what they call a repetitive cycle. I forgot what they call it, the terminology, when you actually deal with these institutions. A lot of shelters won't let you in if you have teen boys over 12. Oh wow. After I let everybody leave with me, everybody turned their back on me. You know, this is, I don't know if the God considers you an angel, a victorious T, but I do. You are one of the first to do the donation reading, and I still have that to do. I still have that to do. Somebody feels like it would be interesting for me to interview someone that is displaced. There's actually a man right here sleeping under a tree. What I notice is people come to me, you all, they come to me. People will park next to me. They'll sit down, like this man, you know. It's several places where it's shade, you know, but he's noticed that I've been here for a couple of days. And he came inside. Another guy, he was in the middle of working, and he came and talked to me. And there's a woman here. She reminds me of like, what was that with Tina Turner? Where they say Warriors or something like that. She has like a truck like kind of similar, like a Toyota with a hatchback or something, but she has a whole little setup with like a bed, like a futon bed. I was sitting there watching her lift the bed up, like, you know how you lift it from a mattress to a couch. She has all her stuff set up, like, and this is how it's been since I've been here. It's been family after family. One lady had like a little adorable little baby boy, and her husband or her guy was fixing on a car. They probably weren't necessarily homeless, but this is the stuff that happens, you know. And when I spoke about things being fun, it's this type of energy. But when it comes down to my son, you know, saying home, home, I want to go home, I want to go home. That's what makes it disheartening, you know. And even though I feel like this channel is going to go back up, even if it's a mixture of different content, which they suggest that you don't do, it's still heartfelt. And the reason why it's important is because my collective, the ones that I read for, either have already went through this, they're currently going through this, or they're going to in the future. And so it's very important for people to share their knowledge. I did a G search because I'm gonna refrain from using, you know, and I put in, what do you do if you're homeless? Where do you go? And it was a typical answer. Out here it's 211. I'm not sure where it is for your city or your location, but if someone has any information while the live is going, because I'm not going to open up the comment section for the trolls. Um, you could put the state where that area code number or whatever is relevant, even if you're not there for resources. But when I Googled it, it was pretty mundane. It was pretty blase, simple. Let me get to that comment in a minute, Victoria C, because I lose my train of thought. Um, Textbook, and then I got to one answer, and it was like he or she understood the assignment. I was looking for the raw uncut, like, what do you do? And this person said, people sleep under the freeway, they do this, they do that, and that is the type of information that is needed on on the G search. I did notice. Let's see. Hold on. Y'all have to excuse me because I don't want. Hold on again. Because I don't want the trolls to sensationalize my child, especially since he's on the spectrum, and a lot of people like to do that. Um, let's see. I think most states is 211. I know for Texas and Montana it is. Okay, hold on. Okay, you all. I have to check out right now. I got to tend to my son, so I do appreciate the support. And when I come back on, those that feel comfortable enough to share, I keep losing my train of thought. It's like the guy, he would snatch your thoughts right out of your mouth or your brain, and you just be sitting there trying to figure out. And it has nothing to do with old age and everything to do with his divine will. Now that my son is running around and everything, and he wants to get something to drink, I'm gonna talk to y'all in a little while.